Greetings. Last week, I invited you to reflect on your own process of lifelong conversion. I hope that this Lent has been and will continue to be a time when you can intentionally continue in that process and invite God's grace and transformation into your life. This week, I want to reflect a little on how grace, God's grace, has already been at work in our lives. So just a few short weeks ago, we observed Ash Wednesday. And for many of us in Iowa, it was blizzardy and driving was not easy. Some Ash Wednesday services were postponed or canceled because of the weather. So whether you were able to attend an Ash Wednesday service in person or not, you'll remember that the unique part of that liturgy is the imposition of ashes. Every person from infants to elders is marked with the sign of the cross in ashes on their forehead. We are told, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return." Bishop Jake Owensby, in his book, A Full-Hearted Life, Following Jesus in This Secular Age, writes about this service and about what it means that we are dust and will eventually return to dust. So Bishop Jake reminds us of the creation story in the second chapter of Genesis, where God makes a human-shaped pile of the ground, essentially of dust, and breathes life into it. That original human being is literally made out of dust. Likewise, science tells us that all of our bodies are made up of elements that once existed floating through space after the Big Bang. Some atoms and molecules coalesced. Eventually, our sun ignited and our planet came together. And here we are today, sentient beings made up of stardust, literal stardust, communicating through video technology, also made of literal stardust. We are dust, and to dust we shall return. But this in-between time, this life that we're living, this is pure grace. I didn't have to exist. You didn't have to exist, but God wanted us to exist, and so God made us. God made you and God made me because God decided that the world would not be complete without us in it. And not just you and me, but every single one of the people who have ever been alive, every one of us, an integral part of God's creation. God's grace created us, and God's grace sustains us with every breath that we take. And God's love for us doesn't change, whether we accomplish great things or when we fail. God's grace and God's love have been with us since before the beginning. Our value as human beings is based on God's love. That is, we are beloved because God loves us. That's it, period, end of story. That is God's grace working in us. All that we might do, or all the ways that we might fail, don't change our inherent belovedness and worthiness in God's eyes. So this week, I invite you to reflect on all your many accomplishments and on all the many ways that you have fallen short, and let them go. Let them all go. When you let go of your accomplishments and your failings, what is left? How has God's grace and love sustained you, the essential you, outside of your accomplishments and your failings? How does that free you to be the fullness of the person that God created you to be? Blessings.